Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch the video. I appreciate all the support you continue to show the channel here. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and discuss today. So before we get into them, do me a big favor, be sure to hit the like button to help the video out and show it your support. It helps it out more than you know. And if you are new here to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge any of my followers or subscribers who are currently living in Ukraine. Obviously, there is a terrible, terrible situation unfolding there right now. And so I feel as though all I can do is say I hope everybody is staying safe, taking care of one another, and obviously we're all going to be praying for your safety. And I hope that at the very least, if you are watching this video and you do happen to be living in Ukraine, maybe it can serve as a little bit of a distraction, a temporary distraction, to kind of take your mind off of the horrible situation that is unfolding. I just feel as though I had to say that before getting into the video. But with that being said, we are going to get into the first topic, which I do think is a pretty interesting one here because it is seemingly our first significant leak when it comes to detailed information regarding PlayStation Spartacus, and we have quite a bit of information to go over here, so we're just going to dive right into it. This is coming from the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, and it says here, speaking on his premium giant bomb show Grub Snacks, VentureBeat's Jeff Grubb claimed to have obtained new information on Sony's yet-to-be-announced subscription service. It's probably getting pretty close to this actually launching. Something's probably going to happen by the end of this month, and I don't think that necessarily means publicly. I think in terms of the internal milestone of where the service needs to be, Grubb said. According to the journalist, Spartacus will be comprised of 3 tiers priced at up to $16 a month. Right now, they are called Essential, Extra, and Premium, Grubb claimed. The pricing, again, could be a placeholder, but the pricing is $10 a month for Essential, $13 a month for Extra, and $16 a month for Premium. Grubb went on to explain what he had heard players will get for each tier. For Premium, $16 a month, do you get full games? Not really. Kinda. It's like EA Play. You get full game trials. I don't know if that's for every single game that comes out, but it seems like that. While PlayStation has offered game trials in the past for certain titles, Grubb implies that all PlayStation first-party titles could offer these trials as part of the premium tier. Grubb continued, you also get classic games and streaming. None of the other tiers will have cloud streaming. You also get classic games. He then explained, I don't know what classic games means, but I do know that it's a major part of this premium tier. So you have game trials, classic games, and streaming on this premium tier. For the extra tier, you get downloadable games or a downloadable games catalog. Anything on PlayStation Now that was downloadable seems like it will be in here, which Grubb has heard includes over 250 to 300 games, something like that. You don't get cloud streaming, but you do get those 300 games you can download. Essential is PlayStation Plus with the monthly games, just like you know it today. Grubb explained the current PlayStation Plus offering includes cloud saving, monthly free games, and discounts. PlayStation players also need a PlayStation Plus in order to play games online. This doesn't apply to free-to-play titles. Are there annual membership numbers for how much these things cost? I don't know. I haven't heard, says Jeff Grubb. And so that's all the information he's giving us in regards to PlayStation Spartacus. And first and foremost here, I want to focus on the premium tier for PlayStation Plus because we don't really have all the answers here. While this is more detailed than anything we've received so far, we still have quite a few unknowns. For example, we don't know if it's actually going to be $16 a month. He did say that they could be placeholder numbers. We also don't know if Sony is planning to implement a trial for every one of their exclusive games. Is it just going to be PlayStation Studio titles, as in from their first-party owned studios, or is it going to be their partners, such as, you know, games like Ghostwire Tokyo and Forspoken and other games that are going to release from their partners as well in the future that will be exclusive to the console? We also don't know, you know, what these classic games mean. You know, how is Sony going to put a big emphasis on this and not frustrate people that just kind of expect to be able to pop in their game discs and play these old games. It's going to be important for Sony to really kind of sell this. Although if you think about it, you know, them letting you know that, hey, for 16 bucks a month, you know, $6 more than what you're already paying, not only do you get access to pretty much everything in the PlayStation Now catalog, both streaming and downloadable and classic games, you also get, you know, game trials for some of their big titles that release, maybe like a 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8-hour trial. I think a lot of people would actually appreciate that. And, you know, there are going to be people who get frustrated because they're going to think, well, these are just game demos. Now we're being charged for game demos, and it may seem a bit ridiculous when you look at it that way, but the reality of the situation is game demos just really aren't a thing anymore. It's very rare that publishers or developers release free trials or game demos, and so I'd argue that for a lot of people, paying $16 a month to have access to an extended trial for potentially all of PlayStation's exclusives, where you don't have to buy it, you can try it for, you know, a good chunk of time and then decide if you want to buy it. I think for a lot of people that would be pretty valuable to them and something that they would like to, you know, partake in. And I also think that Sony wants to do it this way because it will certainly result in more sales. More people will be willing to pay that 16 bucks to be like, oh, I can get a free trial of God of War Ragnarok. I really don't know if I want to pay 70 bucks for this on my PS5. Maybe not God of War Ragnarok. Maybe that's a bad example. I think most people do want to play something like that. But maybe like GT7, right? A lot of people maybe aren't sold on GT7 because they never played GT before. Maybe they pay 16 bucks to get this premium tier for a month, or maybe they buy like a 3-month subscription for it, and they try it out for like 4 hours and like, you know what? I really actually like this, and then they end up buying it. I think it's a smart thing overall for Sony, and I think that it makes sense why they would want to do it this way if they're not willing to do day and date. And I think that that's the most important thing we have to focus on here with this conversation, is that this is not a traditional Game Pass competitor, or at least not in the way that people are expecting. And that's because Sony is not going to do day and date, and there are going to unfortunately be quite a few people who are not going to be happy with the announcement of PlayStation Spartacus because of this, even though pretty much everyone has made it clear, you know, that Sony's not doing this. And Sony themselves have pretty much made it clear that Sony's not doing this. They're not doing day and date. And so it's going to be up to you to decide if this premium tier is worth it or not. I'm going to be honest, it's seeming extremely unlikely at this point that there's going to be like, you know, native playback for PS3 games, specifically like native on the console. Like, I don't think you're going to be able to put in a PS3 disc and play your PS3 games or anything like that, or even PS2 discs or PS1. It seems like this really is just going to be everything that's featured in PlayStation Now. And so I just really wanted to focus on this premium tier because I'm really curious as to what you guys think of this. I think it sounds fine. It sounds honestly exactly like what I expected it to be. Sony giving out free trials of their games so people can subscribe to this and try these games out to decide if they want to buy it. You know, giving you everything that PlayStation Now offers. I think it'll be successful for them. And you know, tier 2, there's really not too much to say about it. For 13 bucks, you're going to get all these downloadable games, you know, that are available on PlayStation Now. This could be certainly more appealing to people if Sony continues to try to get like more games into PlayStation Now as like day one releases potentially. So that's something we do have to consider. And then you have the basic essential tier, which is, you know, the price isn't going to change. It's just PlayStation Plus as we know it. So yeah, Jeff Grubb says that he's not expecting it to necessarily be announced before the end of this month, but he's saying that it's pretty much finalized, or, you know, it's reached a major milestone. So, you know, we've been hearing the rumors that apparently Sony's going to have some type of an event in March. We don't know how big it's going to be, but a lot of people, no matter what Sony does next, whether it's a state of play or an event, will be expecting to hear about Project Spartacus. And so, you know, we are going to have to take this with a grain of salt. It is like inside information, but, you know, it all sounds certainly very believable to me, and Jeff Grubb has proven to be a good source of information in the past when it comes to all sorts of things. So yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. It just focused on this one topic specifically, But this was one that I think kind of deserved a video of its own. And at this point, I'm going to ask you guys to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think about this leaked information regarding Project Spartacus? Does this sound like something you would want to subscribe to? If so, would you subscribe to the extra tier or would you subscribe to the premium tier? As for me, I don't think that this is something I'm going to subscribe to, honestly. I'm probably just going to stick with the Essential and PlayStation Plus. That could change, but you know, if this information is accurate, it pretty much is exactly what I expected, and there's really nothing here that makes me feel super enticed, like, oh, I need to, you know, pay extra to subscribe to this higher tier. Although it may incentivize me to maybe consider dabbling into PlayStation Now finally, so, you know, I'll have to think about that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Again, leave the video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.